What is up, guys? What's going on? The Eagles took the L today in their second preseason game, 35-0 to the New England Patriots. Today, we are just reacting, talking about our top takeaways, grading Devonta Smith, grading the team overall. Joining me tonight is, of course, Ty Book. Follow him on Twitter at TyBook3. He is the host of the Pull the Pin podcast. What is up, Ty?
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for having me tonight. Rough one.
All I can say is I'm glad this game has come to an end. And guys, we have a special guest here. Let me put that down there. He is Brandon Deeg, the host of the Double Doink podcast. I'll put down all the info to make sure you follow and stuff down in that description below. What's up, Deeg?
Thanks for having me, guys. That was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Man, it's like it's so weird when you have the Eagles linebackers as like the main storyline, the main highlight of today's game. Lead us off, Ty. What was your kind of main takeaway of this game?
I'm concerned about depth. I really expected guys like Nate Herbig to be much better than they were tonight. Now, I mean, it's a small sample size. It's a preseason game. But when I saw that the offensive line was kind of pieced together tonight, I was kind of excited to see some of those pieces play. They got a lot of time last year with all the injuries and came out tonight, and they laid an egg. They were bad. Nate Herbig specifically was really bad. I look at him as a guy that I really thought they could piece and play this year if they needed to, if guys went down with injuries. And he was not great. Sayamalo was also pretty substandard, but also disappointed that we didn't get to see Jalen Hurts tonight. You know, the illness kept him out. Nice to see Miles Sanders get a couple of carries. Nice to see Jordan Howard in there. I thought Jordan Howard looked strong. We talked a little beforehand. You said he needs to hit the hole. That's 100% a fact. And then, you know, we'll talk about it a little later, but it's nice to see Devonta Smith on the football field and doing what he does.
What about you, Deeg? What was your kind of main takeaway from this loss?
Jalen Hurts better stay healthy. I don't want to watch Mullins or Flacco play football. I guess that's the biggest one. Yeah, the backup offensive line struggle. Matt Pryor was the guy that stuck out for me. He was bad tonight. He was really bad. I don't think he should make the roster. They gotta move on. They gotta rip off that Band-Aid. I know he was part of that draft that they loved, but time for him to go. Herbig, you brought up, it was weird. He started 13 games for the Eagles last year. Like, it's hard to kind of forget that. I don't know what's going on with him. That was a really bad snap at the beginning over Flacco's head. I don't know if was he even practicing center? Like, I don't even know if he's been practicing at backup center. So that's something I got to look into. Yeah, it was, what can you say? It was a bad preseason game. I think the D-line depth is a little worrisome too. Like, you brought that up, but again, small sample size, been 2 games, but guys like Tiapolotu did not look good. Raekwon Williams had that fourth fumble at the end, but still he did not look that good either. But yeah, it is what it is. I just don't want to watch Mullins and Flacco play quarterback. That's basically the biggest takeaway.
My, how big a difference a week makes. This was Pro Football Focus putting out this tweet. Joe Flacco coming in for the QB1 job when he threw that bomb to Quez Watkins, and here we are. Flacco had his up and downs for sure here. I think the biggest takeaway for me is just overall disappointment. You heard all week during the Eagles and Patriots practices, Jalen Reagor dominating. You had Jalen Hurts, all the team, you know, committing that he is a franchise quarterback, and we didn't get to see it. At the end of the day, it's like you said, Deeg, like it's keeping Hurts healthy and ready to go this year. That way we have a full sample size, you know, by season's end of what the Eagles should do moving forward. But I can't help but feel disappointed. You know, Devonta Smith had 2 catches today, 1 for 10 yards, 1 for like 7 yards. Let's talk briefly about what we saw from Devonta. Lead us off, Deeg. Devonta Smith made his first NFL catch with the Eagles. What was your take?
He looked sharp. He ran some good routes. I saw some tape on him on Twitter. He looked solid. He wasn't like it looks like the routes he ran, the ball wasn't coming to him. That back shoulder throw, I wanted that one from Flacco. Looks like the timing was off, but that will be there. Yeah, he looked good. He's the best. He's as advertised. Like, you can tell when you watch him, like the eye test matches. And I'm just excited for him to kind of get more action. But yeah, I think one drop you could maybe argue, like the The one that was on like third down, he was like maybe 1 yard from the line of scrimmage. He was coming on a crossing route. I think that was probably the only one maybe he should have had. But yeah, he looked good. Like he's a good route runner, and he's probably the most exciting offensive player we've had in years, right? So looking forward to more snaps from him.
What about you, Ty? Any quick impressions on Devonta Smith?
Just nice to have a wide receiver that can run routes. I mean, I don't know any other way to put it but that. He's crisp, smooth, creates separation. He is the first wide receiver since Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin, I'd say, that really run crisp routes. We've had guys who were size guys. I mean, Alshon was a guy that you're going to try and throw it up to. You've got tight ends who come off the line that run okay routes, but we haven't had a true receiver do it that's this young in quite some time. So I'm excited about that. I'm sure that Hurts and him probably have a little bit better chemistry as far as they've been working together in camp more than him and Flacco. But those two catches alone, he had 2-3 yards off of whoever was covering him at the time.
Yeah, the one he had where he beat his man off the line, like that was like one of the main weaknesses of this receiving core last year was that the wide receivers could create zero separation at the line, beat their man zero. And you saw that tonight. So that is definitely a positive. Let's quickly go into player of the game. Lead us off, Deke. Who is your biggest standout in this number 2 Eagles preseason game?
I think it was the linebackers. It was Singleton and TJ Edwards. They both look good. TJ Edwards is interesting. I feel like this year, they're going to play a ton more zone this year because we know that's what Gannon does. He's an Eberflus and Zimmer disciple. That's what they do. So I'm assuming he's carrying that over. He's not playing a ton of man-to-man like Jim Schwartz did. So I think you can leave Edwards in passing downs. I don't think you have to pull him out. And that's the knock on both Singleton and Edwards is they're not good at man-to-man coverage. I think if you play a lot more zone, those guys can be around the ball, and having those guys on the field is positive. You don't want to take them out for an extra DB. Those two are a top 11 defenders on the team, so they should be on the field. So yeah, it's encouraging. I think Edwards almost had a pick. It was close to the end zone. That was one of the nicer plays. I think he had 1 year in Wisconsin. He had 7 interceptions. I'd have to double check that, but he's on the ball. He has a knack for finding the ball. He just doesn't have the speed. So it's good to see him good in coverage and zone defense. But those two are the main guys. I guess I don't know. I think Milt Williams had a good pass rush. I'm trying to think not much on offense, right? There wasn't a lot there. I can't think of an offense. They didn't score a point. Elijah Holyfield had a couple good runs against the third stringers. I don't know if that counts. I think I'd rather see Elijah Holyfield over Jordan Howard on the team. If we're talking fourth running backs here, I don't know if that's a hot take or what, but I don't think Jordan Howard has any business making this roster. I don't know what he brings to the table. At least Holyfield, you have some sort of upside, I guess. That's basically it. Those two linebackers were really good. Zach McPherson didn't have a really good day. I don't know if we're talking bad players in the game.
Go ahead.
But he kind of disappointed me. He was getting Kendrick Bourne was having his way with him at the beginning, and that's kind of the knock on him. Zach is a smaller guy. Kendrick Bourne's a bigger receiver, so that might be the reason why. But I wish I saw more from him. Yeah, they didn't play the defensive line played too, so it's kind of hard to evaluate the corners, right? You didn't have any pass rush whatsoever. None of the starters played, so just a tough game to evaluate anyone, to be honest. I guess you could evaluate the guys that didn't play well. It's hard to evaluate the guys that thought played well.
I'll just piggyback off what Deke said. My guys were Singleton and TJ Edwards, no doubt about it. You had Alex Singleton looking nice, defending that screen pass. He shed some blocks at the edge. He had a nice tackle for loss there. Like you said, there was a really nice play there from TJ Edwards where he baited the quarterback, nearly had an interception in the middle of the field. Right after that, Alex Singleton he went in between two offensive linemen on another screen and got the tackle. Then right after that, TJ Edwards blew up a guy on another screen pass, beat the center, and forced just kind of the tackle for loss. So it's kind of a weird post game here where we're talking about Eagles linebackers being the stars of the game, but here we are, not anything else really to kind of break down.
So TJ Edwards had 10 picks in his last 3 years of college. Sorry, I just had to check the stat up, but I think that's intriguing. If he can stay on the field and zone, I think that's good. I think that's a win for just the defensive coordinator, right, coming in and being able to keep him on the field.
Randall Peterson says, "What's up, my guy? What's going on, man? Go Birds." Mike J says Nick Mullins had to walk him. That play by Nick Mullins, where he literally had I put it on my Twitter account. He literally had 6 seconds in the pocket. Just
I think it was longer than 6 seconds. I think you're giving him right there. Oh yeah, I think it was closer to 10. It was that was rough. That was rough.
The worst play I've seen, man. Since Clayton Thorson, man. That is up there. That is definitely up there. Wilson and Singleton, my favorite too. What about you, Ty? Who is your player of the game?
I'm not going to piggyback off the linebackers. That's who I would have, but I thought Sippis punted the ball exceptionally well. If you really want to, I really did. I think the kid can punt. What else? What can you say? You're exactly right. The linebackers that Singleton and Edwards were really the only two guys that stood out at all in any way today. On either side, to talk about a little bit of the Zach McPherson part, they were targeting the heck out of him early in that game. I think they saw it as a way to get Cam Newton in a rhythm, and then even when Mac Jones came in, they didn't leave him alone. And you're right, with no pressure, you don't really see what you have there, but I think they saw an opportunity to beat somebody that they could just out physical. So tough one to watch tonight. Hopefully next week we get to see a little bit against the Jets, but they probably won't with only 3 preseason games and 17 regular season games.
I'm sure no starters will play at all. Does 27 throw you off with Zach McPherson? I still think Malcolm Jenkins every single time. I'm still not used to it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%.
It's not my 27.
It's not that. It still throws me off because I don't think they had a 27 last year, if I'm correct. No. So yeah, this is the first time. I just keep thinking Malcolm Jenkins. It's something I haven't got used to yet.
Yeah, you look at how bad that Eagles offensive performance was in that first half. They were down 19-0. Outside of the Eagles drive that resulted in a turnover on downs, they went 70+ yards. The average yards per drive on offense was 6.5, including a fumble, an interception, and 1 total first down. So I'm going to throw a shout out for my secondary player of the game. And it's not even a freaking Philadelphia Eagle. It is Quinn Norton for the New England Patriots. He went 1 of 2 for field goals.
Oh, he had a rough night. Yeah. I honestly kind of felt bad for him. After he missed a second one, I was like, there goes your job. I think I felt bad for him.
One of the biggest takeaways negative. I like the guy's analysis, but listening to him call a game, Ross Tucker he just kills me. He kills me.
He loves his Eagles, that's for sure. He doesn't let it. He doesn't hide it.
No, he does not. He's
all right. I don't mind it. It's the Eagles announcing crew, right? It's through their website. Yeah, so they got to be homers, right? They got to gas up everything.
It's not even that he's all Eagles. It's like he's a guy or he's a dude, and then he's explaining what a guy and a dude is, and it's like, dude, just shut up.
I have another player of the game. Another player of the game for me goes to Dave Spadaro, Spuds. There was a point during the halftime show where they're marketing the Autism Foundation for the Eagles, and right after that, he goes, they were down 19-0, and Spuds goes, "We could all use a cold one right now."
I missed that.
He had a good shirt. I liked his shirt. The bird was really big on his shirt. I noticed. The polo he was wearing, he had an Eagle logo. It was huge. My mom was asking about where do you get that shirt from?
All right, let's wrap up. We don't need to do grades here. It is what it is. It is the second preseason game. They'll be back at it with the Jets next week. Ty, lead us off. Where can we find you, man? What do you got going on?
So you can find me on Twitter at PTP2021 or at TyBook3. Pull the Pin podcast. We'll be back next week getting ready for the Ryder Cup, the finishing of the PGA playoffs, all your betting needs when it comes to golf. We've been way up all year. Took some time off for Tommy's wedding. Back at it next week. And also coming up next week, Divler and I, we got our wiffle ball tournament coming up. Going to be a good time.
Domination, baby.
So you got money on this weekend? I got money on JT.
I didn't put anything out this weekend. No. I love JT. I also love Rom. JT's a great pick, though.
Yeah, Rom was the favorite. I put money on JT and DeChambeau.
I always bet on DeChambeau to lose. Yeah. If I don't bet on him, he's going to win, and I just don't want him to. So. I
All right.
did like Varner this week a lot, so he's still in the hunt. He's a guy that could sneak up on some people.
Love it.
D, where can we find you, man? What do you got going on, dude?
So at Brendan Deeg NFP on Twitter, you can go listen to Double Doink podcast. Close to that, tomorrow's our last division. We did division P for every single one. I cannot wait for it to be over. It's been the biggest grind. I've been pushing an episode a day the last 7 days. I'm sick of it. Can't wait for it to be over. But anyways, NFC West tomorrow. Daryl Urban, the writer for ArizonaCardinals.com, is going to be on that. Just did an interview with him tonight. That will be attached to the episode. National Football Post. I got a bunch of articles coming out. If you're interested in Alex Singleton, I did a big story on him a couple weeks ago. Talked to him, a couple of his teammates, and a coach just about his background in Canada because that's where I'm from. I was really interested in that. So in his background there. So yeah, check that out. But yeah, that's basically it.
Thank you for joining. Please follow my man Ty on Twitter at TyBook3. Follow my man Brendan and the Double Doink podcast. Follow my man on Twitter right there at Brendan Deeg NFP there on Twitter. For Ty, for Brendan, for myself. Stay awesome, everybody. We'll see you again next week for our post-game show.